The first time Sarah saw him, he was crying into his cappuccino. That morning in Portland wasn't like most mornings. Rain fell steadily, as if the city itself were grieving. Drops tapped softly against the windows of Brew and Pages, while inside, warm light spilled across worn wooden tables, shelves of old books, and the gentle steam rising from coffee cups. Sarah sat at her usual corner table. Her laptop was open, but her mind was elsewhere. 3 months earlier, a 4-year relationship had ended in a single text message. "I don't feel the same anymore." The words still echoed inside her. That's when she noticed him. He sat alone near the bookshelves, shoulders slumped, tears slipping freely down his face. His eyes were locked on his phone as if it had delivered news too heavy to survive. Sarah knew that look. She had worn it herself. Without fully understanding why, she stood up, carried her coffee over, and stopped beside him. "Sorry to intrude," she said gently, "but you look like you could use a friend, or at least someone who won't ask questions." He looked up, startled. Red eyes, a broken smile. "Is it really that obvious?" "Only to someone who's been there," she replied. "Mind if I sit?" He nodded. And just like that, 2 broken hearts shared a table. His name was Michael. His grandmother had died that morning, the woman who raised him after his parents passed away when he was a child. Every Saturday, she used to bring him to this very coffee shop. Hot chocolate for him, black coffee for her. 1 book every time. "I didn't know where else to go," he admitted. "Being alone felt impossible." Sarah listened. Then she told him about Jake, about the message, about the future she'd planned that vanished overnight. "We're a sad pair," Michael said quietly. "The saddest people in Portland," Sarah replied with a faint smile. "At least the coffee's good." He laughed for the first time that day. The next morning, he was there again, and the morning after that. They didn't plan it at first, they simply showed up. Slowly, it became routine. A text at 7 a.m. Usual spot? They talked about everything. Michael shared stories about his middle school art students. Sarah talked about books, her thesis, and a dream she barely dared to say out loud. "One day," she said, "I want to open a bookstore, a place that feels like home." "Like this place," Michael said. She smiled. "Exactly." They never said it, but they both knew this was more than friendship. They were just afraid to name it. December arrived with snow. Rare, quiet, beautiful. That morning, Michael didn't sit down. "I need to tell you something," he said. Fear clenched Sarah's chest. "I've been trying to convince myself we're just friends, because I didn't want to ruin this, because we're both healing." She didn't let him finish. She kissed him, right there in the middle of Brew and Pages, with snow falling outside and coffee filling the air. "I was afraid you'd say no," he whispered. "I was afraid you'd never ask," she whispered back. 3 years later, they stood inside an empty storefront on Maple Street. Sunlight poured in. The walls were freshly painted. Possibility hung in the air. "We'll call it Brew and Pages," Sarah said. "Same name, new chapter." Michael smiled. "My grandmother would have loved this." She squeezed his hand. She already did. The night before opening, snow fell softly again. Michael arrived late. He looked around the shop quietly, taking everything in, like someone memorizing a place. "Tomorrow, everything changes," he said. Sarah laughed. "Tomorrow, everything begins." Michael kissed her forehead longer than usual. Some goodbyes don't announce themselves. Before sunrise, Sarah's phone rang. An unfamiliar number, a flat, official voice. "We're very sorry." Her knees gave out. Michael had been driving home. The road was icy. The accident was quick. Michael was gone. Brew and Pages opened on schedule. The bell rang, customers came in, coffee poured, books were sold. Life moved forward. Sarah stood behind the counter, smiling. No one noticed how quiet her voice was. On the wall hung a small framed note written in Michael's handwriting. "This place was always yours, Sarah. I was just here to bring you to it." That night, Sarah stood alone in the shop. Books, coffee, silence. She finally understood. Some people don't come to stay forever. Some people come to teach us how to live again. Outside, snow continued to fall. Brew and Pages lived on. And in Sarah's heart, love remained an unfinished but sacred book.